Hey everybody, we're back. Last we left off, you guys were working on your 1-point perspective. Hopefully you guys all had a nice weekend. You got outside, enjoyed some fresh air. You did your shapes, you did your overlapping shapes, and you did your letters. Spelling out art, horizon line, and your vanishing point. So before we go on to the next step, which is going to be drawing your names with block letters in 1-point perspective, I just want to review some value here. So once you have letters drawn and you have the sides creating form, here's that vanishing point back here, I want to talk about how to add value. So for this particular exercise, we're going to keep the face of the letters being the brightest as if they're closest to us. And we talked about this when we did the elements project. Remember when you did the one shape of the tools, you actually added value to the sides and you created a highlight in the middle. For this, you're going to leave the front of the letters being the brightest, and then you're going to add value going back into space here. And so I want you to think about when you add value, to add the value going towards the vanishing point. So if you're going to go towards, this is the vanishing point, you're adding value this way. Now just remember with the pencil, you want to use the side of your pencil. I'm using a violet Prismacolor. You want to use the side of the pencil, not the point, because it's not as smooth. And sometimes you want to do some practice on the side to get that one edge smooth. So whatever direction you're going in, give it. I'm just smoothing out the edge of the pencil. So this is the direction I want to go in. So work in layers. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in this whole shape really lightly. Using the side of the pencil, I'm going to fill in the top of this form. And now I need to decide where's the light coming from. So if the light's in the front and the top of the shape is here, then it's going to get darker as it moves to the side. So just like you did your objects, you're going to go back in along the edge, and you're going to make that value like a middle value, and try not to have any lines. If you start to have lines lighten up on the pressure, you can also go in small little circles to be smooth, but you want that shadow to go towards the vanishing point. So as it gets further away, it's actually, think about dividing this up into threes almost. So if this is the back of the shape, I'm going to divide that into 3 in your mind. And then here, this front, you can think about this in threes. So this area is going to be the lightest, the top. And then so I'm going to go back on this side now. And I'm going to add that darker value. I'm going to fill it in, and think about when you start to get close to that imaginary line in the middle, I'm going to fade it off. So I'm going to go over it again. You want the edge closest to the line to be the darkest, right? So that value is the darkest. And as I get towards the middle, I fade it off. So again, I'm going back over, darkest next to the line, and as you get towards the middle, you're going to fade off. And so think about that imaginary line going to the perspective line. I'm sorry, the vanishing point. Alright, so to create more drama, get that edge nice and dark. You don't want a hard edge from here to here though, you want to smooth it out. If you get a hard edge, go over it very gently, light pressure, little circles to smooth it out. and you're going to get that turn. So it's really going to feel like it's turning in space. For the middle of the A, the inside, think of it as a tunnel. So it's going to be darker than the top, but it's going to follow the same idea as this curve, that the light would reflect off the top of this. So again, from the edges in, make them dark, and then lighten as you go towards the middle. On this edge, dark, lighten as you go towards the middle. And think about it going to the vanishing point this way. And then for the front, you know, just a really light value of the pencil you're using.
And as you do this, you start to see how the top pops out on the inside.
Okay, so now for the letters that are not rounded, a little bit different. Again, you need to think about the top going back into space and how the light will transition. If the front is going to be this light color here, and this has the same value, you're going to start with this front edge being darker. And there's that light again going off and on me. And as you go back, it will fade. So put that first light value in. And then go back in and make it dark on this edge. What I like to do, instead of just going straight back, I'll pick one side to be darker than the other. So I'll follow this edge just like I did this one. Notice that the direction of the pencil on this is going with the direction of the letter. So this letter is going this way. So I'm going this way. And then I'm going to turn it to go towards the vanishing point. Making the edges dark. Going back over, making the edges dark, and what do we do? Oh, look, I've used the point. Look how dark that got. So use the side of your pencil. I'm at an awkward angle, so I can try to keep my hand from blocking camera. Okay, so you can see this hard edge. Now we want to soften it. So I'm going to go back in, and little circles. I'm going to apply pressure lightly. And I'm going to keep going over this until this line disappears. And then I'm going to let this kind of go over it on an angle. I'm going to go back in on this corner. And now I need to do the sides here. So again, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go in the direction of this line, up and down. Very lightly going back. Going to lighten the pressure as I get towards the end of the shape. And I'm going to go back again and do another layer. Think about that middle value. Lighten the pressure as I get towards the end. And then go over it again, third time, and then lighten the pressure as I get towards the middle. You can see how that has a nice blend going back. I'm going to do the same thing in here. Light layer, going with the direction of this line. Okay, so now I'm looking at it and I know that this is hanging over this area, so in reality this would be much darker. I could even try to add like a little cast shadow under this here, making this extra dark. And that would actually, if there was an imaginary line there, continuing this, that's where the shadow would be. And getting nice and dark in the corner and then lighter as it goes past this line. And then again here, I'm going to pick up this line. And I can see a hard line there, so what am I going to do? I'm going to go back over, little circles, and try to smooth that out. And you can see the point of my pencil, you can see I keep using the same side. See how flat it is? So that's what gives me that nice soft tone. And I'm going to go back over the front of the letter nice and light. Remember the tip we talked about, when we see the lines, we can actually turn the direction of the pencil and go in another direction, and that'll help alleviate some of those lines. So I went vertical and now I'm on an angle, and then I can even go back over horizontal. Try to get rid of some of those lines. You can see how all those lines disappeared. Okay, there you have it. So practice these letters, take your time. This will be Monday's assignment, and then on Tuesday I'm going to show you how to actually make the block letters so you can spell your name out, and that'll be part of our project. We'll do a mini exercise first. So take your time, and if you have extra time to work on this and you finish and you're looking for something to do, you can go back and create more shapes in your packet, and you can actually go back in and add value to all of these shapes if you're enjoying adding value. I find it to be very therapeutic. It's very relaxing, so you can go in and add value to all of your shapes. Try different colors, and remember that as it's getting further away from you, you can make it lighter. Have fun, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.